Before we go on with this ending, I'd actually take the opportunity to talk about it. Previously, we engaged ending C, which, as I said, is more in character for the father to do. He needs to stay behind and take care of Yona. What we have today is the opposite of that. Ending D, according to the development staff, and I personally agree with it, is considered to be the ending that the brother would take. The previous ending is a path of responsibility and realization. Nier, as a father, knows that, however he might feel now, there is nothing that he would not do to save his daughter. Yona is the most important thing in the world to him, and she's still young, and she's still sick. Whatever time is left for her, she shouldn't have to spend it as an orphan, and Father Nier wouldn't let such a thing happen. By this point, even Papa Nier has probably established some kind of romantic connection with Kaine, but there's too much of a generational divide and too much at stake for him to be able to simply give up his life, literally his existence, in order to save hers. Ending C is the path of responsibility and personal pain, but it's the thing that the father is likeliest to do. What we are about to experience is considered to be the brother's decision. The relationship between a brother and a sister is very different from a father and daughter, and although Brother Nier was effectively forced to raise Yona, he was never a father figure to her. It's a strong bond, strong enough that he would wage a genocidal war to get her back, but it's very different than what we've experienced so far in our version of the game. He saved her at this point, and she can go back to the village and make a life for herself, however short it might be. And that's what he always intended to do. The rest of the village can watch out for her because, even though he loves her and cares about her, he has something else to worry about now. By this point, Brother is spent and emotionally broken. All of his anger is gone, and he is finally free to experience some emotions that are not blinding rage. Now he's been allowed to calm down, and now that he's forced to confront the situation, he's come to the realization that Kaine has feelings for him, and that he, reciprocates. She's been through a lot, both before they met and while they've been traveling, and it's finally his chance to make things right and give her some kind of hope. But this decision isn't just about romance, and I mentioned in the last essay that it's purely selfless. It's not. This is also about running away. Ending D is the more romantic option, as it were, but it's also a coward's way out, and I don't think that was unintentional. This is not just an opportunity to give Kaine a chance at redemption, but it's also a means of Nier to hide from everything he's done. By this point, he has slaughtered hundreds, if not thousands, of shades across his journey, many of them innocent bystanders. Even if there was no real malice behind the act, if he thought they were just monsters, it's a revelation that weighs heavily on him. Papa Nier is more likely to be able to live with his actions. He's older, he's been through more, and making up the lost time with Yona will help him come to grips with what he had to do. But Brother Nier is young and impetuous and deeply broken. Papa Nier isn't exactly a paragon of mental stability, far from it, but Brother has never at any point led a normal life. And Papa Nier at least had the chance to grow up, get married, have a kid, and by the time all this craziness finally hits him, he's 40. He's old and battered, and he already knows how to deal with a lot of terrible things. But Brother did not. All of his formative years are spent killing. The end of his adolescence was nothing but bloodshed. He's realized all at once that everything he's done and known is wrong. And there is an interpretation that perhaps he can't bring himself to follow through with this anymore. He just can't do it. He got Yona safe, and that's what matters, and she can go on and live in the village, and she doesn't have to deal with this kind of guilt. But for him, there's not really much of a future left. And if he can acknowledge that, and go ahead and hide from everything, from the guilt and the responsibility, if he can do that by dying, and if he can make some good come from it, then all the better. That said, there is far more to this than just Nier's choice. The development team in the same interview also mentions that this is not necessarily a choice that Nier is making. This final decision is between the player and Kaine. Nier as a game has already used the nature of its medium, its interactivity, its very existence as a video game, to form this emotional connection with the player that another medium can never really replicate. I've heard people say that this story could be told through different means, through a book, movie, series, whatever, and that is true. But you could never get the same kind of emotional punch that you have with it as a video game, because a lot of how it was designed is reliant on the relationship that you, as a player, wind up establishing with the game itself. This is true back when you do your second run and you realize that shades are sentient, and you have to kill them all over again. I stress that you have to kill them all over again because even though Nier is technically the one actually doing it, he has no knowledge of what's actually going on. You, the player, are the one who presses on, who continues this cycle of violence. It's always been you. And that comes full circle here. When the game tells you that his choice are to kill Kaine or give up his existence for her, Tigran is not just talking to Nier, the character. He is talking to you, the player. The game demands a sacrifice far beyond just what Nier is going to do. Whereas any other game would simply give you this choice and play out its endings, and then you get your nuclear data and you can do whatever you want, it's going to ask something from us. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everybody who's watched this, who's subscribed, or commented, or liked, or asked questions, or just plain stuck with me for this entire thing. Thank you for watching, thank you for reading, thank you for saying such nice things, and thank you for sharing this experience with me. This has been a lot of fun, and I'm very glad that I could do this, and maybe bring this game to the attention of people who would have otherwise not seen it. Or not given it the chance. So once again, thank you, everybody. And goodbye.
You will disappear from this world. Your daughter, your friends, everyone in your life will forget you. You and any sign that you ever existed will be erased. And in exchange, Kaine will return to her mortal life.
Are you alright?
Yona.
Are you the one who helped me? Oh, thank you.
I'm glad you're okay.
What's wrong? I mean, you defeated the Shadow Lord and everything, but you don't look happy.
I don't?
Oh, a lunar tear. How pretty. Are you crying?
Yeah. I guess I am. It's like I just found something special. Something very special.
You